Welcome to the Caregiver Relief Podcast, where we empower caregivers and families with knowledge, inspiration, and practical solutions to making caregiving easier and more fulfilling. I'm your host, Diane Carbo, RN, and today we're exploring how technology can bring us closer together, especially for our aging loved ones. My guest is Costin Tuculescu, CEO and co-founder of Onscreen Inc., the innovative company behind Joy Calls, a TV-based platform helping older adults stay connected, engaged, and supported through meaningful technology. Costin has over 2 decades of experience creating products in video conferencing, unified communications, and senior care. His work combines engineering excellence with a passion for human connection and social impact. Today, we'll talk about how Joy Calls and the new AI Senior Companion are helping to turn isolation into connection, one household at a time. So grab a drink or some coffee, tea, whatever, and join us for an inspiring conversation on how technology is bringing warmth and companionship back into the homes of seniors everywhere. This episode is sponsored by myvitalvault.net, your all-in-one life organizer for aging adults and caregivers. It's designed to help you securely store your essential legal, medical, and emergency information in one easy-to-access place. Because when a crisis hits, being prepared can make all the difference. Join our Caregiver Relief community, a warm, welcoming space where you can connect with other caregivers, ask questions, share stories, and find support from people who truly understand. Visit community.caregiverrelief.com to join now, because caregiving is one of the hardest and most meaningful things you'll ever do, and no one should have to do it alone. And if this episode speaks to you, please take a moment to like, share, or comment. Every click helps us reach more caregivers who need encouragement, resources, and hope. Costin, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited about sharing your Joy Calls and your AI program with my listeners. It's very positive, upbeat, and in a challenging time. I'm really grateful that I'm able to get a hold of you and do this podcast today.
Yeah, Diane, thank you so much for having me. And that was such a wonderful intro. Really appreciate you taking the time of putting that together. And I am equally as excited to share our products with your audience. I think we live in amazing, interesting times where now we can support better care, better connection, better companionship for our aging loved ones that are very isolated and lonely. Up to 40% of older adults are isolated and lonely.
It's a very real problem, and that's why I was excited to share this platform with my listeners. Costin, you have been a tech innovator for over 2 decades. What inspired you to focus your talents on helping seniors stay connected?
Yeah, tech innovation often comes from a place of trying to solve a problem. And I've been in video conferencing for over 20 years. I started a company called Instant Presenter back in 2004, and people could do presentations and webinars on the internet back then. Then I started another company called Any Meeting, and that was more like a video conferencing company. And I sold that company in 2017. And then in 2020, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And with COVID, everything became video conferencing. And that was the only communication medium that we had to stay in touch and reduce isolation and loneliness for everybody. And I felt like a little frustrated that we were using our tiny screens, our laptops. That was the way we were communicating. And I started looking into, hey, we've got this giant screen in our living room that could literally be a window into another room. And how can I use this to communicate with my friends and my family? And I don't know about you, Diane, but I've been a Star Trek fan my whole life.
Yep.
I've been into sci-fi my whole life. And in all the visions of the future, there's these giant screens that people talk through, right? And video conferencing is life size in the future. So I was thinking, can I do this? Can I bring this kind of technology to the masses, given my experience? So I started working on a product with a couple of colleagues to turn the TV into that full size communication device. And we created a product that we put on Amazon. And we started getting some sales. But almost immediately, we started getting calls saying, hey, I'm trying to set this up for my mom, and she has dementia. Okay. You guys created this thing for the TV, but it requires a mobile app. It requires a smartphone to make a call, to answer a call. Can you just make it simpler? And we got call after call about that. People were looking at this as a solution to connect with their loved ones that were isolated, that were in lockdown during COVID, in senior living. And we took that challenge on. I looked at how many people in the country had dementia. I had no idea. I didn't have any background in senior care, senior living. And I saw 6 million people have dementia in the US, and probably double that number as far as cognitive decline.
Yes.
That would struggle with technology. So we took this TV-based approach that I thought families would use. And funny story, my wife wouldn't use it. She's, honey, I'm just going to FaceTime. I'm going to FaceTime my sister. I'm like, but look, I built this beautiful thing for you. You could sit on the couch, have a glass of wine, and talk to your sister. She's like, that's okay. That's okay. I got to fold laundry, so I'm going to just take my FaceTime in the bedroom. So I couldn't get my family to use it. But once we made it simpler and easier, all of these families that were setting it up for their moms or dads with cognitive decline, all of a sudden they were so grateful and so thankful. So we got really into the senior care technology business. We did a full pivot from trying to be like a consumer electronics company to being an age tech company. And that's where we got our start around 21, 22, creating this TV-based solution. And ever since then, the platform has only grown because we've learned more about how big the need is.
Yes.
Right. Like 40% of older adults are lonely and isolated. This increases their risk for dementia by 50%, increases their risk for heart disease and stroke by 30%. And it's a $7 billion cost to Medicare every year, just loneliness and isolation. So we felt that would be a good mission for this company. And yeah, I'll take a beat here to let you get a word in, Diane. But and then we started building a lot more products around that.
I'm giggling because as you were talking about the size of the TV, you realize that the seniors, I can remember I was a teenager when we would all huddle around Ed Sullivan, and it was a screen about the size of, and it was black and white, the size of a laptop.
Yep.
Now, and I'm just giggling because there would be a whole family. I come from a big Irish family. We were all around trying to see close up. So, and I love the big screen TV because I also feel that it helps those with vision impairment. And I think that's really an important thing to consider. And with all the Bluetooth technology, hearing aids now, people can have it directed to their hearing aids, and it just makes a huge difference in their lives. So I'm really excited about this. But
absolutely. Yeah, we also heard from people with macular degeneration that they just can't even see a small screen because so much of their vision is blocked out. But the large TV was a solution for them for that.
I love that because I have people I know that use special equipment on the computer to magnifying glasses to see, and I can see where the bigger TV would open up their world to them a little bit more, which I really like.
Yeah, plus there's this whole experience around seeing the grandkids, seeing family members on the TV. It's like they're on the other side of a window.
Yeah.
And we've got customers that the way our product works is that the family, the adult caregivers, the family members, they use their mobile phones to call mom, and mom receives the call on her TV, for example. And we have, did I freeze there?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I really do.
And so what they do is they'll take their mobile device, obviously, to, let's say, a basketball game or a soccer game for the grandkids or a birthday party. And they can literally dial in mom who might be in assisted living, might be in memory care, and broadcast to her TV the entire birthday party. Okay. And it feels like she's right there, connected with the family, not isolated, not living alone in senior living. So it's such an amazing way to beam life into their room.
Yeah, and I agree that it's what I like is we have lost our sense of community. We are when we used to live within 25 miles of where we were born, we're now all over the world. And our senior family members may still be in the hometown. And we've lost that sense of community and connection. And this makes me happy because families can actually communicate joy, happiness, and celebrate and share celebrations or even activities of daily living, like going to the kids' soccer games. And that's not only making memories for the children, knowing that grandma or grandpap are watching them, it's also allowing that senior to feel connected. And I think that's so important right now because you're combating loneliness on a daily basis. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we've had this product out on the market. We call this product Joy TV. And it's a device that the adult child buys it. They go over to mom's house and it's like a Roku with a camera and they connect it to the TV. And it's a lovely experience now for that older adult to be able to see the family, stay connected with them. But they also are able to receive medication reminders on their TV. They're also we even have things like Zoom classes. So that's a really big thing for reducing isolation. Now, somebody that might struggle getting on a Zoom, right? Figuring out how to get connected to Zoom, they can our platform has been automated so that they can just automatically join a class about poetry, or they can join a virtual Tai Chi class or virtual
Oh, wow.
music listening. So they could be connected with 20, 30 other people. For example, we have a couple of partners. One is Loop Village. Another one is called Discover Live. And both of these partners put on these live classes that are interactive so that anybody, 80, 90, 100 years old, can get that additional stimulation, talk to other folks, all from the comfort of their living room. We
That's
really baked in a lot of functionality there into the TV.
Well, dementia prevention is doing something new and different every day, even if it's just walking backwards or taking a different way home. So having them be able to have that ability to interact with others also gives them another reason to get up in the morning and have something to look forward to, which is so lacking for so many seniors.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
you have the AI Senior Companion. Can you tell me about it and how does it support emotional engagement or mental wellness even?
Yeah, this theme of joy, it really came together back in September 2023 when we really started looking at all this new AI innovation that's been happening in the world and said, how can we create a really positive experience using AI for someone that might be alone all day and they don't get a chance to talk to anyone all day? So we created this AI persona named Joy, and she's like this lovely person who pops up on your TV and just starts chatting with you proactively. So you don't have to call her like with a wake word, hey, like Alexa or hey Siri or any of that. Typically, family members will set up Joy visits at, let's say, at 10 a.m. Joy can visit, at 2 p.m., at 6 p.m., and Joy will show up on the TV and just ask you about your day, or ask you if you've taken your medication, or play a trivia game with you, or tell you a joke. So it's just a way to bring in some of that voice engagement, some of that cognitive engagement through the technology that the older adults are already familiar with, the TV. And they may already be sitting there. For example,
Yeah.
Price is Right just ended, and now
Mhm.
Joy comes on the TV to have a chat with you, and you can talk about what you just saw on Price is Right, and she'll ask you questions and what was your favorite part of the show, etc. So it's a fully conversational, very realistic AI companion on the TV.
I have to tell you that that's very impressive to me because seniors that are in the early stages of dementia or have mild cognitive impairment oftentimes have the inability to initiate anything. And some of the platforms out there expect them, a senior, to say, "Hey, Alexa, do this," or "Alexa, do that," and the seniors lose that ability. Or even ones in even with mild depression have no interest. So when you're saying that joy pops up, plus I love that name. It's just the connotation is happiness and comfort.
Right.
Yeah, it is. And for somebody, for joy to pop up on the screen and go, "Hey, how you doing today? What's going on?" or whatever she says, is amazing to me because all of a sudden I can see a person who is depressed or not able to initiate responding, and you're having an interaction that would have been missed otherwise. And
Yeah.
I really do. I love that.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And that's exactly what we've been going for. And we see older adults engaging with joy, especially around the jokes of the day. Okay, tell me another joke or the trivia. We even have this really cool thing on the TV where you can make a painting with joy. And Joy will prompt you, okay, let's make a painting together. Okay, what should the painting be about? Give me a general subject. Oh, I want to paint a beach. Okay, what should be on the beach? Do you want beach balls? Do you want puppies, etc.? So you tell Joy what should be on the beach, and she'll say, okay, is it daytime? Is it nighttime? And after she collects all of that information, she thinks about it for about 30 seconds, and then boom, you get a beautiful beach painting on your TV that is also shared with your family. So now the family also sees that, oh my goodness, mom's been busy. She's been making these cool paintings with joy. And it's just a phenomenal way to, again, drive engagement, create something new, and it gives the family something to talk about. So next time when the daughter calls, it's like, hey, mom, I saw that amazing painting that you made. It looks so great.
Costin, one of the things that caregivers and seniors don't realize is how important activities are, especially in as you go through the stages of dementia, or even with a person with mental health issues that is having depression and anxiety. Actually, activities can actually decrease or eliminate negative behaviors and challenging behaviors, and caregivers don't use those enough. So I love the fact that you have things going on that you offer that helps the senior be able to interact and be creative, and it helps their time pass faster. And it does. I know personally from my 50 years of experience in nursing, and a mother of 2 sons, that
Yeah.
keeping them busy with activities absolutely does stop the challenging behaviors.
Yeah, yeah. I bet my wife would love to chat with you. We also have two sons, 13, 13 and 10 right now. So we're
Oh,
really getting into the thick of
getting
it.
into the hard parenting stages. God bless you.
Gotta keep them busy and out of trouble.
Yep, at that age, I used to tell people I might as well put my address in at the post office with my license plate because I'm going from one activity to the another, whether it's karate, basketball, or
Yep.
whatever. And it has to be the same way with seniors. You gotta keep them busy.
That's right. So I wanted to bring up two more things that we believe helps give the caregiver respite and improves the experience.
Yeah.
Again, the family member can set it up so Joy shows up multiple times per day, but the family member can also tell Joy all about the older adult, their preferences, their hobbies, their interests, so that Joy really has a wealth of information and chats and asks questions about all of these things that are going to stimulate and interest the older adult. Not only does that provide that cognitive stimulation, but it does also potentially give the caregiver that respite and that opportunity to have a cup of coffee, take a breath, and all, and not just have their loved one just in front of a TV with no interaction, just a kind of a one-way thing. Now it's a two-way interaction.
Yeah. I like that. I encourage every family caregiver to create a person-centered care profile, and it's just that. It's all about them. So when they go in the hospital or have somebody else caring for them, all their needs and wants and their activities and stuff are all written down, their little quirks. So I really
Yeah.
like that. That's a very positive approach to our seniors. So many families worry about privacy and security with smart devices. How does on-screen ensure user safety and confidentiality?
Yeah, absolutely. So unlike the bigger players like the Googles or the Alexas, these smart speakers and smart AI devices in the home, we are specifically built for families to support their older adult loved ones. It's a closed system, it's a closed network. There, no one can call into the on-screen device unless the family member that set it up invited those people. So typically, you'll have, let's say, the adult daughter by the on-screen device, and then she'll invite her brother. She might invite the other brother. She might invite a grandkid who's like maybe a teenager, and only those people can reach grandma. All the conversations are encrypted, locked down. My 20-year background in technology as a technology executive in unified communications, I understand how critical security, privacy, encryption, all of that is. So we built all of that into the platform. And we also operate at a HIPAA compliance level.
Wow.
So anyone that has access to the system must be authenticated, authorized. These are all very technical terms.
Yes.
But the bottom line is we think about privacy and security very seriously. We take it very seriously. And that's how we built the product. I want to say one more thing, that the Joy TV product has a camera. The camera has a built-in shutter, so it can be closed anytime or opened as needed. This gives the senior the control and just gives that peace of mind that they're not being watched or anything like that. Also, when the camera is on, so when the family calls them and they're having a video call, there's a big light that goes on so they can see, okay, the camera's on right now.
Mhm.
There's a big mute switch so they can also lock it down completely.
Yep.
It's number one for us that we have the trust of the senior, the trust of the family, and that they feel like this thing is locked down Fort Knox style, and that's what we built.
Costin, before we started the podcast, you started to share with me all the different things that you're offering now beyond Joy Calls. So I thought I'd ask you if you could elaborate on what other products or services you offer within the Joy Calls platform. And
Yeah.
I would love to hear about them.
Yeah, and it's a little confusing. It's a lot of joy. We try to put a lot of joy out there in the world, but it gets a little confusing. So the product that we've been talking about, that's the TV-based product, that's our Joy TV product. We call it Joy TV, and you can find that product at our main company website, which is onscreeninc.com. So that's everything we just talked about is Joy TV. We also rolled out the Joy tablet app, which is really our attempt at making all of this functionality and all of these benefits available to people that maybe they don't want to hook something up to the TV. The Joy TV product does have a $150 price tag and it's $30 a month. Okay. So what we wanted to do was make something that's even simpler and more affordable. And as a techie, one thing I noticed is if you're going to use tech to support your parents, okay, if you're a techie, you probably have an old iPad in a drawer somewhere, okay? Or you've got an old Android tablet somewhere. So we thought, okay, we're doing all this really cool stuff with the biggest screen in the house. What if we went to the next medium screen, which is typically a tablet? What if we made an app that can do the video calling with automatic answering, that can do the Zoom classes with automatic joining, that can do Joy and Joy visits you on the tablet, can do medication reminders and calendar reminders? What if we put that on any old tablet that's lying around? So if you've got an old iPad, an old Android, you can go to the App Store, download our app, install the app, and then we give you instructions on how to lock it down so that your older loved one doesn't get themselves in trouble by clicking around and going into settings, because that can happen.
Doing that.
Yeah. So then what our software does is it just turns that tablet into a very simple, very easy communication portal, again, to reduce isolation, reduce loneliness, and it makes it so that they can never kind of break that experience. And so again, just we bring video calls, we bring Zoom classes, we bring medication reminders, we bring joy checking in on you and having conversations with you. And then when it's not in you, it's a digital picture frame. Okay, so the family can send photos, right? Family can send photos. Family can also send messages. Also, I didn't mention that, but it's like, hey, mom, we're on our way. See you in 20 minutes. It pops up big on this tablet. But they can send photos, and those photos just go on a rotation when the tablet's not in use. And it's just a lovely thing to have, maybe in your kitchen, maybe on your nightstand, that does all of that amazing functionality, keeps you connected with family, but also provides you with those digital photos. So that's our Joy tablet product, where if if the listeners wanted to load that on a tablet that they have lying around, they can just go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, download the app, and that one comes with a 30-day free trial, and that it's only $10 a month for all of that functionality.
Yeah.
So much more affordable than the TV option with a smaller screen.
Yeah.
So we built that product as well. And then we can talk about Joy Calls.
I'd love to talk about Joy Calls.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, we've been around since COVID. It's been about a 4-year journey for us. Started with the TV, then we went to the tablet. The whole time we've been evolving Joy herself, right? This AI companion that's just lovely to talk to. So then we went even further. What if we could remove all the devices? What if there was no need for a device? Maybe there's no TV to set up, or maybe my loved one doesn't have Wi-Fi, okay? And there's a lot of folks living in rural areas and they don't have Wi-Fi, or they have a very old TV that wouldn't be compatible with our Joy TV product, and they have no tablets. That's why we created Joy Calls. And that is a product that simply uses the phone line, even a landline or an old flip phone, any kind of phone, and it's just incoming phone calls to the senior to chat with them about their day. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the way it works is the family caregiver, again, they will call mom every day. The customers that we work with, they love their mom, they love their dad, they check in on them frequently. But typically there's 8 to 12 hours a day where more engagement is needed. There's a lot of silence in the home, and folks just need more engagement. So during that time when you're not able to call mom, let's say you're at work, you can have Joy just call her on her telephone. And again, check in, hey, have you taken your medication this morning? How do you feel? Do you have any pain today? What's your mood? How's the garden? Hey, the weather's really great today. It might be a great day to take a walk. Or Joy can even talk about their favorite book, their favorite TV show, etc., all just on the telephone. So now Joy Calls is just the simplest iteration of how we deliver joy, both the emotion and the AI companion.
Yes.
And we're just getting that off the ground now, and people can go and try it if they go to joycalls.ai. We set up a special website just for Joy Calls. They go there and they can sign up for a free trial for 2 weeks, try it with their loved one. And again, we believe it delivers cognitive stimulation, delivers reduction in isolation and loneliness. Again, Joy will talk about their interests and their personalized things that they prefer to talk about. And we try to make it very affordable, but AI is a bit more expensive when it's just on the telephone like that. So that service is $30 a month.
there are seniors I know that go days without having a hearing from anybody. So I can see this would be very positive, especially because if Joy calls and the senior doesn't answer the phone, do you have a system in place where you send an alert to the caregiver? Because I have seniors that lay for hours or days after a fall.
Oof. Yeah. So absolutely, that's a real issue, and that is one way also to support your older adult. The constant check-in. You want to check in. We allow up to 5 calls per day with
Oh,
Joy.
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And if Joy calls and no one picks up the phone, then she'll call again 5 minutes later.
Okay.
If again it's no answer, she'll call again 5 minutes later. So now it's 3 attempts. After the third attempt, when there's no answer, then we send a text message to the family caregiver and we say, hey, Costin didn't answer the call. You may want to check in on them.
Yeah. I really like that, especially because there's working caregivers, there's long distance caregivers, and this is a very positive approach that is not intrusive into the senior's home because so many of them are so private and they are fiercely independent, but they are declining and they don't want to accept it until they get to that point or a crisis occurs where they end up in the hospital or in a nursing home or whatever. I love this as a simple approach that can make meaning into a senior's life.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Dan. I do want to ask you a question. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Because this is,
All right. This is weird.
and it's just part of how we try to make the product better. So I'd love your feedback on this.
Uh-huh.
So AI is new. Some people are freaked out by AI, right?
Yes.
We've put some ads out on Facebook about Joy calls, and we've actually gotten a bunch of hate on these ads. And everyone's like, why would you want a robot calling your mom? What you need to call your mom yourself. And so we're trying to make sure that our message is, yeah, you should call mom every chance you get, and Joy can be your assistant. But what do you think about this sort of like backlash against AI, or even just using AI to support humans, right, with these types of phone calls and to reduce loneliness? Do you think AI can actually help people and reduce their
Absolutely.
loneliness? Yeah.
I do. And you know what? I use AI every day. And I can tell you right now, I'm not threatened or worried about it because it still has a long way to go. I watched a movie I'll share with you many years ago. It's called Frank and the Robot.
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know about it. It's on my list. I got to watch.
And I have to tell you, it's basically Frank is a con man. He's got dementia and he lives alone, and his family gets a robot to take care of him.
Wow.
And Frank works the robot, so they start doing bank robberies. It's the tables turned on the robot.
Yeah.
But I think that what we have, Costin, is we have a public health crisis in our country right now. We have more seniors than youth, and every generation after the baby boomers has not replaced their population. So we have, and our youth are our tax base and our workforce. So every generation is going to have a problem with nobody being there to provide care. And we've also gotten to a point where, especially our youth, they're communicating, they've lost really communication skills. They're not interactive. They'll sit next to each other and text, but they don't know how to talk. So there's a lot of social awkwardness I think we're going to see. And I think we have to embrace, my personal thoughts are we have to embrace AI. I know there's concerns about your AI is going to be programmed to be positive, upbeat, encouraging, and you're also going to be very careful. But I know that people are concerned about AI being negative and doing terrible things. If you have to have parameters, and I think it has to do with you have to just let people know that it's the wave of the future. It's a way of, how do I want to say this? With the silver tsunami coming, we are going to have caregiver robots in our life because we don't have enough people. So AI is going to be everywhere. We need to embrace it. And I love your philosophy. I love the joy that you bring to people and the connection you bring. So I think that it's just going to be a cultural acceptance. What surprises me is that who are the naysayers? Are they the seniors or are they the millennials? Who is being terrible, negative about it? Because I see it as a positive. Yes, there can be negative things about AI, but you have to work with a company that is going to have integrity and caring. And I get that from you. So I wouldn't worry about it. I'd say to people, go ahead, go with Joy Calls.
Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I really appreciate that because, yeah, there's just so much of this mentality that the caregiver should take the whole burden on themselves. It's their weight to carry. And some of these messages that we're getting on Facebook are like, you need to call your mom. You need to make time in the day. You need to do this and that. And of course, there's no replacement for that personal human call and, that human connection. But why wouldn't people want an additional assistant to reduce the amount of silence, to
100%.
bring additional engagement? And we've built Joy so that she can talk about 1940s jazz. She can talk about things that adult child has zero interest in.
Yes. And I will tell you right now, what I'm seeing is the kids are, it's always one person in the family that provides care to the senior. And they feel like they're failures if they don't take that burden on themselves. And
Yeah.
they have a hard time asking for help. And I encourage them to build a care team partner support group where they have people that offer or provide practical assistance. And I see Joy as a care team partner because she provides activities. Every senior, disabled person, people with mental illness need activities. Absolutely. You're also providing interaction at a time when we don't have enough people to provide that. So I really think that this is a very positive product. That's why I was so excited when you agreed to do this call with me, because seniors need this. And because we have lost a sense of community, and as a woman who's had been divorced, I can tell you children and the baby boomers are experiencing children that aren't as, how do I want to put this? They don't have a sense of family because of divorce. And that's why we have the loneliness and the isolation that we do. And I think that, and a lot of people now have also decided not to have children.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know so many people that don't have any other family, so they have to depend on others to help them. And with no help out there for us, or if a lot of the help is from other countries, there's communication. Seniors are expected to are hard of hearing. They deal with people that have a different accent. They may be great workers, but it's hard for a senior to understand what they're saying. I've heard this my whole life. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
I think that Joy, your platform and your programs offer a solution. Actually, it's a safer solution than leaving them alone, isolated. And the other thing is, I'm going to bring up a very challenging topic, but people over the 65, we have the highest level of suicide rates next to the veterans that have 22 deaths a day. And that's because of the loneliness, the social isolation. And so we need products like Joy.
Yeah. And one thing I'll add is Joy might be able to elicit conversations and authenticity from mom that she may not want to share with the daughter necessarily. But
Yeah.
it's important things like if somebody has these dark thoughts,
Yes.
the daughter needs to know and to be able to help mom with that. And, we built Joy to be extremely safe because there is transparency between the conversations. So that daughter who gets Joy for mom, she's able to see the conversation. She's able to get summaries about them, and she's able to get alerts if mom says, "Oh, I woke up with a splitting headache, or I just feel like there's no reason to keep going whatsoever, that daughter will get alerts and she'll call mom and brighten her day. So, yeah.
And I find this is a way for caregivers that are working or long distance caregivers to have a peace of mind as well, because they are having another avenue of care provided, a layer of care provided that they're not able to provide. And people are leaving their jobs to provide care. And this may help people stay in the job workforce longer
Yeah, that's
with this
exactly
kind
right.
of platform.
So that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, and we're
Well, I
trying to.
love it. How do people find you?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of websites. So joycalls.ai is how you would just get started today for free with Joy. You can start getting those phone calls to mom to brighten up her day within 5 minutes of signing up. It's a 14-day free trial, get access to all the great features. And we also do have a free forever version. So for free, you can have just one short call every day, just so that someone's always calling mom and checking in with her and making sure that she's okay.
Wow.
So that's joycalls.ai. And then our other products, Joy TV, you can go to onscreeninc.com, onscreeninc.com. Let me just double check. I think we might even have joytv.ai also. So if you go to
I have links on my page and in the screen notes, we will have links to all of these as well.
Perfect. So yeah, joytv.ai, that's the
Okay.
TV product.
Awesome.
And then from that website, they can find the tablet product as well.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate you sharing your information with me. To my family caregivers out there, you are the most important part of the caregiving equation. Without you, it all falls apart, unless you have Joy AI. And so learn to be gentle with yourself. Practice self-care every day because you are worth it.